is Dell has started this transformation about 3 years back. I think it's been recognized by the company that the economy, the world, the requirements of the customers has changed, and to make sure that on top of what we used to be really known for as a PC company, and to be able to deliver the kind of requirements, expectations that our customer has of Dell, we need to embark on the change, and that journey has taken us a couple of years. And I think you most probably have seen in terms of the acquisitions that we make along the way, from a cloud solutions to a security framework, right down to some of the infrastructures like storage companies like Equalogic, to the likes of Compellent, to some of the software like Exanet or Carina. So Dell is transforming, and I think in recent times you most probably have heard about Sonic War and Wise, Make, Clarity. So this journey of Dell, I think, has been very, very much endorsed by the industry analysts. It has also been very, very well received by our customers who used to own a Dell PC, and now understanding from Dell that on top of not just more enterprise offerings, services that can actually wrap around all these things, and we've been given some rave reviews that Dell is the fact that people are still very much looking forward to Dell being a very, very serious player in the data center area, and that's given in the form of some of the reviews that you most probably have seen in the industry, saying that this is a very, very evident fact that Dell is very serious about making this change, making this transformation, and accordingly as well, for us to really achieve that, it's not just going to be entirely just Dell and our salespeople. It's also about very much how we can embrace the partnerships, the channels, because having said that, it's not something that Dell has 100% complete end-to-end offerings. A lot of the things that our partners possess, whether is it from the vertical industry solutions or whether is it from a certain applications integration values that they bring, we find that there are a lot of complementary part of it, and you will most probably see in some of the news lately that Dell is, even Michael Dell himself going to several countries, standing on a stage saying that channels are a very, very important part of Dell's DNA right now, and this all has to do with the kind of transformation that Dell is really going through, and the kind of acquisitions that we make along the way, that will actually prove to be of value to some of our partners who now just not see Dell as a PC player, but see Dell as a complete end-to-end data center virtualization player, and that sort of allows us to be really effectively competing against some of the bigger boys out there that people know them for. And I don't think that this is going to be just the end. In fact, I find that this is just some of the start of a better, more good news to come. I've been in India for the last 3 days. I've met with several partners, and I must admit that it was very heartening for me to hear of some of our partners, recognizing the need that they also need to evolve. As Dell's partners for a while, they realize that the kind of journey that Dell has already started, and it's no longer good enough that they remain as just a pure infrastructure player. The question here is that their infrastructure solutions coupled with some of the Dell's latest offering, and what does that mean as a value to their end customers. So I've heard people saying that, and with Dell's journey starting right now like this, and there are a lot more things that you can see. For example, taking a Sonic War, and putting it onto some of the PC infrastructure that they have, and as a result, that brings a lot more value to their offerings, to their customers, and as a result, they can enjoy a more successful relationship with their customers, and that will also mean well for them as well. So if you look at the entire infrastructure solutions piece, storage has been a very predominant part of any journey, because at the end of the day, what it means is that as applications produce more data, end users use data to a certain extent to run their business and make this data become effective information for them to also understand their business. So if you look at it, what it means at the end of the day is there are a lot more data out there. The question here is that, again, how are the data going to be stored? How is it going to be retrieved at the right time? And how is it going to be cost effectively managed? So storage is a very, I would say, a very essential part and a very key piece, of the overall journey that Dell has so-called embarked. Dell's storage journey again it started, I think, sometime in about close to 2009, 2010, recognizing the fact that if we really want to be a serious player, we really need to understand what customers out there in the market really want from Dell, and that actually results in us drawing out the blueprint for this fluid data architecture, and this fluid data architecture is something that was actually sum up from a ground up kind of a approach, so while people may say that we are a latecomer to this industry, being a latecomer has its advantages because we do not take any legacy, so-called, I would say, legacy architecture and try and build from there, which sometimes may be a bit restrictive, may not be able to cater for today's need. The fact that we are able to build from ground up with some of the acquisitions that we make along the way, like Equalogic, like Exonet, Ocarina, and of course Compellent, and last but not least the latest one, virtualization backup piece like AppAssure. So fluid data architecture is all really about this openness which customer wants, because customer does not really want to be locked into any kind of storage infrastructure, because at the end of the day, while application may change, while the market may move, the data is always going to be there. It's something that you need to be there for the long time, and it should not be something that data has to be migrated from platform to platform because it's not open and it's very proprietary. So Dell's fluid data architecture is about really openness, about the ability to really scale out instead of scale up. Because once you can scale out, the fact is that when your business today runs at its current capacity, tomorrow if your business actually expand by leaps and bounds, the ability for a fluid data architecture to adopt a scale-up architecture, to cater for the needs overnight, is something that other players do not, are not able to do as effectively as what Dell's fluid data architecture. So today, if we look at storage as a service, is basically, the question here is the kind of storage that you deploy at the back end, whether it's architectural, the way it's been deployed, is it flexible enough today to be offered as a service? When you offer as a service, it means that today, if I do not have the need, I can immediately turn it off, and that's what I need to do. Can your storage architecture cater for it? So when you look at Dell's fluid data architecture, the fact that I talk about openness, I talk about flexibility, I talk about scale-out architecture, all these are very essential part of what you can offer in terms of storage as a service. Okay, so storage as a service is one route to market today. If a customer, hopes that their business can be expanded, maybe more from an OpEx manner, storage as a service will sound very, very interesting. And exactly what kind of storage architecture you can deploy at the back end, in terms of when I mentioned that those few key differentiations are very essential. If you do not have that, storage as a service will become very rich. One of our biggest wish is that we are hoping that, as you will most probably see from the market, that Dell are having a lot more of such events. Our objective simply is to really inform our customers, and educate our partners that today what Dell has to offer is definitely much more than what they used to know in the past. And the fact that, from what they learn of what Dell has to offer that can complement their business. I think that's a message that today we really want to reach out to them, in a mass manner, and also announce to the world that in itself that, Dell has come a long way from where we used to be, and the fact that, partners itself can play a very essential part in bringing some of these offerings, complementing with what solutions that they have, and putting everything together for their customers.